Yes, people. We are back live. We are back live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube for another Sarcasm City Sports Q&A. Obviously, the Friday edition to end your working week and start your weekend. Like I start each and every show on the channel as well, each and every live stream. Big up to everyone who's supporting. As always, bear with me, people. I'm just about to burp. 1 second. Pardon me, I didn't want you lot to hear that. But yeah, like I said, big up to everyone who's supporting the channel in whatever capacity. Much appreciated, and it does not go unnoticed. Make sure, whether you're watching this live right now or watching this back, let's bump up the likes. Let's get into double figure likes, people. Let's do that. Let's share this across all of the socials as well, also. And make sure on top of those two things, hitting the like button and sharing across all social media apps you are active on. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, Sarcasm City TV as well. It is the Sarcasm City Sports Q&A. For those that haven't seen it before, it's where myself, the rest of the panelists who will be joining shortly, answer your sporting questions. So get your questions in the chat, people. It can be any sport, past or present. So it can be football, it can be basketball, it can be boxing, it can be NFL, it can be UFC. Whatever you want to ask about, get your questions in, people. And if you are a member of the channel, your questions take priority like a super chat. So if you see me going to the same names, I'm not ignoring anybody. It's simply because Marcel, I get to that as well. It's simply because I've lost my train of thought there. Simply because that is one of the many great perks. That's all it is. So if you see me going to the same names, it's because it is many of the great perks. Link for the membership is in the pinned comment, people, as well. But let's subscribe to the channel. Let's make sure we're doing that. We're one short of 5,810, and it is road to 6K on the channel. So make sure you do that. And let's share this across the socials. Let's get more people in here. And like I said, get them sporting questions in, people. Get them sporting questions in. Big up Dennis as well, who says big up Flawless and the man them in the chat. Question to Flawless and the channel: could you guys see City winning the treble or no chance? City always have a chance because they have a great team and a great manager. So do they have a chance? Yes. Do I believe they do it? No. That's what I will go on and say. I don't think they win the treble. No. Simply because FA Cup, even though my team's in it, they're favourites for that. The Champions League, and obviously that's in the title, and it ties in beautifully to what I was going to talk about anyway. That's Thomas Tuchel going to Bayern Munich now, to me, swings the tie in Bayern Munich's favour. New manager bounce. Thomas Tuchel's a quality manager. We've seen him win the Champions League before, and they have quality players. So I think the Champions League is tough for them, not only with the Bayern Munich thing, also to potentially get past the Real Madrid as well. And we've seen Manchester City sides in better form not win the Champions League. So I don't expect this Manchester City side to do so. Obviously, some of that's hope as well, because I don't rate I don't rate no, don't rate. I don't want Manchester City to win the Champions League, of course. But yeah, I don't see them winning the champs. And then the Premier League as well, that's tough. But winning a treble is tough. But do they have a chance? Absolutely, Dennis. Peter G saying Dennis United will stop them in the FA Cup and your boys will probably stop them in the Champions League. I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that. It's going to be tough. I'm hoping Sheffield United do the business, but that's just me. Big up to Taha as well. Marcel says, big up Flawless and the gang. How come I ain't get the link for the members Q&A, bro? You're a Sarcasm citizen, right? It's just the soldiers and the generals. You're a Sarcasm citizen, so that's what it is. It's only for, if you check out all the perks, Marcel, it will tell you. So that's why. The members Q&As here on the Twitch, which I'm going to add 2 to the Twitch as well. So currently right now, if you're a soldier, you get the 1 members Q&A on Twitch. If you're a general, you get the 1 members Q&A on Twitch and then 1 on the YouTube. But for the generals, I'm going to double it up and have 2 on the Twitch. That's how I'm going to run it from next month. So that's why. I believe you are a Sarcasm citizen. If I'm not, Marcel, if you're not, I apologize. And I'll get you 1 to add up into that. Ed says, big up to Ed. Hopefully StreamYard's not working for me. Like, StreamYard's playing up. So if anything goes funny, you lot let me know, please. Ed says, God forbid City winning the Champions League, let alone the treble. Oh, yeah, it's over. If they win the treble, it's over. Like, there's then nothing we can hang over them. And that puts their team, their club, and Pep Guardiola in a whole new light and in a whole new conversation. But do I think they do it? No, I don't think they do it. But they have a good chance. Don't get it mistaken. United for Life says, big up Flawless. Big up to you as well. Paul says, hi, Flawless. Hope you had a good Friday. Question: could Martial or Eriksen still play some part at the end of the season? And does international time help them? Oh, absolutely. I'll get to this in a second. Bear with me. Hey, let's bump up the likes on that. Let's bump up the likes. How we only at? There's just under 20 of you lot, and we're only at 9 likes. What's going on? What we doing? What's going on, man? What's going on? What are we doing? I'm saying, let's bump up them likes. Now we're at 10. Let's get up to 20 and subscribe if you're new as well. But yeah, in regards to this, they could play massive parts. Let's say, for example, we know Martial's injury record. If Martial can only play 45 minutes of the 2 legs against Sevilla, so say he can play in the first leg, he plays 45 minutes, and the second leg he plays 45 minutes. Those 2 45 minutes could be the difference in us going through or getting knocked out. Same way against Sporting or Juventus in the same semi-final. Same way with him in the final. He could play 45 minutes in the final, and that could help us win the competition. That's how key he could be, because he's a vast, whether you rate Martial or not, he is a vast improvement on what we have there currently. He's the best striker currently at the football club, without doubt, no question. I'm a fan of Weghorst. I like Weghorst. Weghorst is nowhere near Martial. Nowhere near Martial. The problem is Martial can't stay fit. But in regards to that, the FA Cup as well, he could be the difference in us winning the final against Manchester City. He played 45 minutes in the game in which we won. Obviously, it was 0-0 at the time, but just him occupying defenders and the ball sticking, just giving rest to our defensive players can be a massive help. So when I'm looking at the Europa League and FA Cup, yes, Martial could be a massive help. And Eriksen, we know he's the only midfielder we have of that profile. He's the only controller we have. So when people say Eriksen's poor defensively, they're only looking at it when the opposition has the ball. When we have the ball, Eriksen is magnificent for us defensively. 1, because we're not defending, obviously. And 2, our defenders are getting rest. And the opposition is thinking about us. When Eriksen gets on the ball, even in our third, they're thinking, oh, shit, let him not play a pass through the lines. Because that pass through the lines can then open up space for a Bruno, a Rashford, a Sancho, a Weghorst, a Anthony, a Palestri, whoever. So yeah, both of them being back could be massive helps, and we need them both back because they're both key this season. Whether you rate them or not is a whole different conversation. I'm talking about this season with this squad right now. They are 2 key factors, specific both of them. Even though I want to upgrade on Eriksen and I want Martial sold, that tells you how much. You know what I'm saying? I'm being honest about these 2. That's what I would say. Why is one of my plats always curl up like a C? I don't like this, but we move. Need to put some DAX on it. Side note. Let's see. Chelsea Fanatic says, big up Flawless. Let's hope Tuchel knocks out Guardiola. Chelsea Fanatic, I'm with you on this. 100%. Yeah, Marcel, no worries. He said, I got you, my bad. Didn't know that's how it worked. I thought it was for any member, but no worries. Yeah, Marcel, if you check out the perks, it's all on the list. So it's all there. But no issues. You don't need to apologize. You know what I'm saying? Easy, mistake to make. It's cool. Big up to Steve. Big up TBG as well, who says, big up Flawless. Big up to you. Steve says, I'm looking forward to club football next week. I have enjoyed international break and look forward to the games in the FA Cup and Sevilla as United go for a treble. I'm not looking forward to next week. I'm really not. That being, bear in mind, people, with the channel, I will still be providing you lot content, of course. Just because the Premier League takes a break doesn't mean myself or Sarcasm City takes a break. I'm just deciding what to bring you lot here on the YouTube and on the Twitch. But yeah, you will get content over the international break. Personally, I don't like it. But from a Manchester United fan perspective, it came from a great standpoint for us. We needed it, 100%. And yeah, we're on for a treble, man. We're on for a treble, Steve. Let's see. Like I said, members, their questions take priority as well. So members, get your questions in. Any non-members, get your questions in. I will start them as well and get to the better ones. And of course, if you super chat, I'll get straight to your question and comment as well. I think there's a chance Pep sacrifices the FA Cup. I think the semi-final is between Bayern and Arsenal game, so we'll probably go weakened team versus Sheffield United. I don't say he sacrifices the FA Cup because even a weak team for them is good enough to get past Sheffield United, and then it's 1 game against Manchester United right at the end of the season. And he's not going to play a weakened side in an FA Cup final. Or even if it was Brighton, he's not going to play a weakened side in a final. But so I don't think he'll sacrifice the FA Cup. They got the best possible draw. They 110% got the best. They got the best possible draw, without doubt. So it's not a big up to Prince. I'll call you Prince V because I can't pronounce your surname there, my guy. You know what I'm saying? But so I don't want to butcher it. So apologies, I'm not being rude. But big up for the super chat, much appreciated. He says flawless. Captain Jack Sparrow scored twice and got an assist for Austria. So you're talking about Sabitzer. I've not even seen it. But people in the chat was telling me, did he score a free kick? People were saying he scored a free kick, but big up for dropping a super chat to let me know that I called him Jack Sparrow. That's funny. Kind of does look like Jack Sparrow as well. That's good. That's good. Thank you for letting me know that Jack Sparrow, Sabitzer scored twice and got an assist for Austria. Hopefully, and he didn't get injured, right? Because we're gonna need Sabitzer. He could be key. He could be key. Paul says, remember, Martial has some knowledge of Sevilla players he spent time there on loan. Sevilla got beat by Getafe. Don't fear them. Rival fans, relax. Oh, yeah, I don't fear Sevilla. Not in the slightest. I don't fear Sevilla in the absolute slightest. No. If we can't beat a team who are, 3 points off the bottom 3 in La Liga, let's blow up this whole team now and start again. Everyone needs to resign and we need to just go get some players from Power League. Shout me as well. I'll go and play if we can't get past Sevilla over 2 legs. It's not like it's one game and it's like, all right, we had an off day and they was on. We have 180 minutes to put it right. Even if worst case scenario, say we draw 1-1 at Old Trafford, I would still expect us to go away to Spain and win 110%. But it's very similar to Real Betis. I want us to kill the tie dead at Old Trafford in the first leg. And I think we will. I want at least a 3-goal margin, at least. Give me another 4-1. Give me a 3-0, a 4-0, a 5-0. Put the game to absolute bed. Big up King Calvin as well. I see you. Big up, big up. Big up Yoza, who says flawless, who always talks football first and always consistent on your views. Big up, hashtag glazes out now. Big up for the kind words, Yoza. Much appreciated. And always glazes out. Always glazes out. Let's see what you lot are saying. Now, Justice was on the members Q&A on the Twitch. So after this, go and watch the members Q&A and you'll see Justice on there. Justice was on there. Flawless, what do we need to do to become a team that controls possession and dominates other teams? We still look like a counter-attacking team. We need better players. We need better players who are technically more sound and technically more secure and are much more comfortable on the ball. You know what I'm saying? And keep the ball. That's the issue. We need an upgrade on Eriksen in there. And number 10 has to be better on the ball. And we need a striker as well, who the ball's going to stick to. So I'm talking about, that's pretty much the spine. Add in the goalkeeper as well. So it's a spine. Goalkeeper, new central midfielder, new number 10, and a striker. So you're talking right down the spine of the team. The only part of the spine of the team I currently like is Varane, Martinez, Casemiro. Because you've got your goalkeeper, you got your 2 centre-backs, you got your 2 midfielders, you got your 10, you got your striker. So that's 7. I legit said I only like 3 of the 7. So we're not even halfway there in terms of the spine. And never mind the bits on the side, your fullbacks, your wingers, where I think we need 2 new fullbacks as well. So yeah, it's just a question of personnel. That's what it is. But I think Ten Hag will get the personnel he needs, personally. I think he will. PC Matt says Nagelsmann, Klopp needs to go and bring him in. What do you mean in that sense? What do you mean? What do you mean in that sense? Yoshiman says, Yoza says, just watch your Kane or Osherman stream. In terms of the midfield ball carrier, where do you stand on De Jong or maybe Caicedo? We need I want an improvement, and that's the Eriksen. Even though I like Eriksen, I want an improvement on Eriksen. The midfield ball carrier, no names stand out to me, but that's the profile I want. I don't want De Jong simply because De Jong doesn't want to be here. If De Jong was like, it was a come and get me plea and he was screaming about, I want to leave Barcelona and handed in a transfer request, I'd go and get him. Because the small sample size I have of De Jong and the few times I've seen him, I've been super impressed. In particular, when they played us in the second leg, I was like, wow. And I said it during all the watch-alongs in the World Cup. Every time I watched him, I never realized how good of a ball carrier he is. The problem is De Jong don't want to be here. Caicedo isn't really a ball carrier like that, but hey, if Manchester United were to sign him, I'm all for it because we need a backup to Casemiro. I think I want us to sign 3 midfielders. I include Sabitzer in that. So it'll be Sabitzer and 2 others. I want to upgrade on Eriksen and I want to back up to Casemiro and Sabitzer. And then I'll happily let McTominay and Fred go. Happily. Let's improve. That's a great 5. If you really want to keep Fred, that's a great 6. Before we continue, though, 23 likes, people. Only at 23 likes. Over 40 of you lot locked in, which is big. Let's bump up the likes, though. Let's get up to 30 likes. Subscribe if you are new as well. What's the like check? So, like I said, like check 1212. That's 23 likes. So let's get that up to 30 likes. And then as for the subscriber check, we're aiming to get to 5,810 people. And let's share this to get over 50 people in there because there's over 40 now. So let's share this to get over 50 people in the building. Victor's here as well. Yes, Victor, what you saying, man? You good?
I'm all good, man. I'm good.
Yeah, man.
I thought I was working tomorrow because they see Liverpool's at 12:30 and it was next week.
Yeah. I hear that. It says, should Nagelsmann go Spurs now or wait to see if Potter gets sacked in the summer? You know what? That includes one of your clubs. I'll let you answer that first, Victor. Should Nagelsmann go Spurs right now or should he wait to see if Potter gets sacked in the summer?
Personally, I think he should wait and see what jobs get in the summer because I think Madrid's job will be open as well. And then there's Chelsea. And then you never know, another job will open up in the summer because the Bayern one came out of nowhere, didn't it? So I would hope that happens. I hope Paul gets sacked and bring in Nagelsmann, but it's more hope than what's actually going to happen.
First. You know what I'm saying? First. Steve, in regards to that, if the Chelsea job's open, you're going Chelsea over Spurs.
Yeah, 100%.
That's just me. That's just me personally. I think that's what you should do. 9 games in April, yes, it's a lot, but if you have a lot of games, it means you're doing well, so it's good. Absolutely, Steve. Absolutely. Big up everyone tapped in, all the regulars, all the new people. Love to see it. PC Matt says, Bayern hijacked Tuchel from Spurs. Got to hijack Nagelsmann the same way. And for Klopp, thank you for everything, but goodbye. So I'm guessing, what are you, a Liverpool fan, PC Matt? I'm guessing you are. But did Bayern really hijack Tuchel from Spurs? I don't think Tuchel was going Spurs personally.
Was going Madrid.
No, I don't think he was going Spurs. Why would he go Spurs? Why?
Report said he was going Madrid. I think it was almost done, and then Bayern went like, yeah, because I think he was meant to go to Madrid in the summer, and Bayern went, he can join right now and challenge for trophies right now, and he took it.
But for real. So that makes sense. I'm saying it definitely makes sense. Let me see. Like I said, you lot continue to get your questions in. Chelsea Fanatic says Man United will win Europa, I think. Yeah, I think we'll win Europa. If we don't, something went like terribly wrong. If we don't, sorry. Taha says, yeah, of course, you know what I'm saying? This guy, you such a hater. Flawless, you see the boy, Killer Killian shining. People still want to hate on my guy. I've not caught any international football. I know he scored, though. What was the final score of that game?
4-0.
Was it 4-0? Jeez. Okay. All right. Yeah. They're going to be on a vengeance mission, France. I think Tuchel was on Spurs' list, but he wasn't en route to Spurs. Yeah, he could be on the list. That makes sense. Makes sense Spurs going for a Tuchel, but why would Tuchel go there when Bayern Munich and Real Madrid are interested in you? Like, makes no sense. Like, from a Tuchel standpoint. Holland got peppered. No surprise, they're not a good side. And I'm guessing France are all their hitters out. But I don't know. Did you watch, Victor?
I only caught the highlights because I knew France were going to win, and I didn't expect anything less, and the Holland team didn't look great. So
yeah, I didn't expect that. I didn't. But yeah, like you can see from the title as well, people, we've mentioned it a few times, but Thomas Tuchel, the new Bayern Munich manager, Nagelsmann to Tottenham, I think it's very shrewd business from Bayern Munich to get Thomas Tuchel. Very smart, very clever. Business. Yeah, and I think it swings that Manchester City tie in their favour now. It does. That's just me personally. And I think they could definitely win. They have enough quality there to go and win the Champions League. As Nagelsmann to Tottenham, that makes sense as well. I think that's the perfect deal for all parties involved. I think it makes sense for Nagelsmann to go to Spurs so he continue to apply his trade where it's at a high enough level where he's expected to win, but winning's not the be all and end all. And plus, Spurs fans will just want to see great football, which he probably will provide as well. And he can learn his trade there. And if he does well, a bigger team will definitely come and look at him. You do well at Spurs, someone like, it's very similar to Poch, who did well at Spurs, then he got the PSG job. And then he'll probably get jobs after that as well. What are you saying about Tuchel to Bayern and Nagelsmann potentially to Spurs?
Yeah, I see Nagelsmann as like the Poch replacement. I think that's a Poch replacement they're looking for after they fucked up like 3 times. Like Conte, Nuno, and then what's it, Mourinho. They're all like step backwards. And I think if they get Nagelsmann, I think they could be on the up, like on the up, because he plays good football, and then he also has like a way of playing that probably would suit the Premier League. He might have to tweak a little bit with the high line and stuff, because then he'll just get caught on the counter. But I think he's a smart enough manager where he could adapt and make sure that doesn't happen. Yeah, even though we take the piss out of Baines here for like rating Nagelsmann, he's actually a good manager. Like, he's very good. Like, the stuff he did at Leipzig was good stuff. Was good football. He made Timo Werner look like a world beater, and then when he came to Chelsea, he was absolutely pants.
Yeah,
So
I think we just, what's it called? Yeah, we just like sticking it on Bainesy, but I understand your overall point in regards to Nagelsmann being good. Peace, and Matt, I disagree with this. You said Barca would never sack Nagelsmann and move quickly for Tuchel if it wasn't for Spurs. They really cared about him going Spurs. Spurs currently still have a manager. I don't think Bayern Munich in the slightest were concerned about him going Spurs. Not in the slightest. Bear in mind, it's not like he was offered the Spurs position right now. Antonio Conte is still in charge. They've still not sacked him. But that's just me. What happened to Zidane Iqbal? In my opinion, these big managers need big players, limit the amount of academy players who may come through, so then positions are addressed in the transfer window. Yoza, this has always happened at big clubs. This has always happened at big clubs, whether it's Manchester United, whether it's Chelsea, whether it's Arsenal, whether it's Liverpool. I use those four because they're the four biggest clubs or four of the biggest clubs in the country. And four of the most successful as well. Anytime any of those four clubs have been successful, how many academy players have been in there? Look at Chelsea's most successful teams. How many academy players did they have? John Terry and Frank Lampard. That was it. Am I missing anyone, Victor?
I'm what you thinking? John Terry, Lampard,
Christensen, Mount, Reece James.
Oh, you're saying recently? Oh,
no,
League,
both.
Yeah.
So I'm saying so. No, I'm asking for both. So whenever you've won the Premier League or the Champions League, how many academy players have been in your side, like in your starting lineup? It's been like 3 or 4 max, isn't it?
Yeah, Premier League is just Lampard and Terry, and then Champions League was when we had like Bear Cobham.
You had Cobham, but even the Cobham guys, how many of them started? You had Reece James who started regular, Christensen started regular,
Mount Christensen,
Mount started regular. That was it. Yeah. The rest of them man were bench players, and same with Manchester United. Look back, take out the class of '92 because that's a once in a lifetime thing. Look at them teams. The Rooney, Ronaldo, Tevez team. He was the Scholes, and Scholes was the old man of that. It was like, you can count West Brown. We'll throw West Brown in the mix too. Academy players. So it's not about limiting. These managers are top managers at top clubs are under severe pressure to succeed. So therefore, are you going to put the fate of your hands in your job in an academy player's hands, or are you going to put it in a senior pro? Well, United not supposed to sign Casemiro and let James Garner play there. Like, it's a no-brainer. Like, type things like Zidane Iqbal or Christian Eriksen. And I even saying Iqbal's not the answer. I'm just saying I understand why managers go for senior players, because that's the way people want to win now. That's what it is. Whether it's, look at Liverpool. They're successful like a couple years. Who was the academy players? Trent. That was it. There was no one else in their first 11. They may have had a couple squad players kicking about, but that's it. Chelsea, we've established, is free. United, 2 are free. Not many players make it. That's all it is. Yes, Jez, what you saying?
I'm good. That's it. No, I was trying to go back. When I was going crazy on Conte yesterday in the Italy game. Yeah, I'm trying to find which minute it was again. But
I can't remember. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, man, this is insane.
Yeah.
And other than that, I'm good, man. Like, just chilling. Conte is still my manager. It's dark days, man.
Hey, hold up, man.
Hey, you know what? A Jared Potter.
hey, we ain't joining for a long one.
Hey, us too, man. What if he gets to the semi-finals?
And then what? He bugs. He gets Piccolo Pep. He gets Piccolo Pep.
Semi-finals in his first attempt in the UCL debut. Come on, man, that's good.
That don't mean shit to me, man. That's like Ollie. Like coming second.
Yeah,
Ollie
does care.
But Bayern sagging Nagelsmann is a political sacking from everything I've read. Most of the execs didn't want him in the first place. Then he fell out with some of those execs as well as senior players. Yeah, it is what it is, man. I'm saying if that is the case, I think Bayern have made the smart move. That's just me personally. I think they've made the right move. To Yazoo who says, I get your point, but there's a reluctance to use them temporarily, isn't there? It's because they're not ready. No, they're just not good enough. If a manager thought a player was good enough, he's going to play him. This is why you see certain academy players playing and having an impact. Like, for instance, Garnacho. Garnacho was played at important moments before his injury at important times for Manchester United because Ten Hag trusts him to do a job. Whether you think he's good enough or not, that's a whole, not you, but a whole different conversation. But Ten Hag thinks he's good enough. This is why you see him on the pitch. When we beat Manchester City, it was Garnacho who crossed the ball into... Who scored the winner? Was it Rashford? Rashford.
Yeah, Rashford was.
It was Rashford. Yeah, it's like Garnacho. Like we've seen him in big games. We've seen him in knockout ties. We've seen him on the pitch at important moments. So more often than not, to me, if a manager thinks a player is good enough, he'll play him, despite if he's been bought for 100 million or he's through the youth academy. But the youth players just ain't that. No, I can't say they're not that good. I can only, when I'm saying this, when it comes to Manchester United, they're looking in the 1% of football players in the world who are good enough to do what's required. Manchester United are looking for the cream of the crop, the best of the best. That is an extremely small pool. So to get that from a youth academy, the chances of that are very, very low.
I think, with United, I think it's lower than even 1% because when you even look at the overall percentage of just an academy play in football making it, especially in England, is very low. And then you have Man United there, who's like at the very top. I think it's even less than 1%, I'll be honest.
You know what? You might be right. It might be
low.
like 0.05%. You're right.
It's very low to make it at certain clubs. Like an academy kid from Real Madrid, when do you ever see that?
Nah, facts. Yeah. Wait, who is an academy kid from Real Madrid?
Because I don't think Ramos came from the academy.
No.
Fede Valverde.
Is Valverde from the academy?
No, they bought him.
Yeah, but he still came, like, he still played in the academy for a while.
There's a difference between buying somebody.
How many years was he in the academy?
I'll let you know.
He wasn't there for long.
Was it like, if it's like 1 or 2 years? When I say through the academy, you're talking from like 6, 7, 8,
like
9,
this was like Rashford type of like.
Yes.
Yes, this is what I'm talking about.
Like a Jesse Lingard.
He was in the academy from 2016 and really broke through like 2019.
How old is he now?
I think he's like 23 or 24.
Yeah. He was in the academy like 3 years. 3 years.
Yeah, that counts them. That kind of counts. You know what I'm saying? But then you've bought him at what?
Yeah.
You bought him at like 17, essentially. How old is he when you bought him?
Let me check.
Bought him 2016, which is what, 3 and 7 years ago. So he's 24 now. So yeah, they bought him when he was like 16, 17.
All right. I'm not saying a seed like Asensio.
When did he start coming through though? Because he came through in that season when. Remember that Real Madrid kid when it was white but it had the gold stripe. When in the season when
the first season of Hazard.
What season was that?
It's 2019.
Yeah, so it's like 2 years. He was in the academy. Like this was saying, like I don't really count how Garnacho came from the academy, but he was bought from the. It's kind of similar to that, but I'm talking about actual academy players coming from like this system. This is what I'm talking about. Like it rarely happens. Especially at the top clubs, at the top.
Rashford is
Rashford, because he's actually had Valverde's got the majority of his footballing education elsewhere,
and number 11. But yeah,
there's very few. Like we're talking very few. Like even Asensio don't start for them.
Exactly,
regularly, you know what I'm saying? Like Carvajal, cool. You know what I'm saying? But we're talking one in however many years. Well, 1 in 20 years or something.
They're actually elite as well. Not just because you can have anyone out of you have Oliver Skill come from the academy, but he's not elite or something. Like he's a good squad player, but I don't look at him like see this one's like Harry Kane is one of a kind. I don't think Tottenham will ever get an academy player like him.
That's once in a generation to get an academy player of that ilk. It's very tough.
You got to say Foden for City.
But the thing, the funny thing is here, because this was just luck with the manager, because Foden was supposed to go on loan, But then Pep said, no, I want to actually keep it in the squad.
Mhm.
So it was also a lack of, it was just, the thing was lack that Pep was around.
Yeah.
And just
Foden's a
able to
shout, of
defend on
course.
flights.
Because Foden a baller. My point is,
Yeah.
people, we're not saying there isn't ones that don't exist. We're saying they're just very few. You're not getting 4, 5, 6 at one time. How many successful teams have? There isn't any successful teams in the Premier League who've had their successful period, and there's been 5, 6 starters, and they all through the academy. That don't happen.
Maybe 1, 2.
Yeah, that's nothing.
Maybe you get the 1 and 2. Like,
well, you get one. Yeah, you'll get 1 or 2, and then the other 2 or 3 maybe squad players. But you're not getting 5. Like the class of 92, I don't know if it's warped. And not to you, Yoza, because you said, thanks, appreciate the time you took to reply. It's all good. Like people get like misconstrued and think that the class of 92 is normal. No, that's a rarity. That's one. The rest of our lifetime, we probably won't see that again. You know how rare that is? You probably don't even get that in Football Manager. That's how rare that is. Even in a fictional game. You know what I'm saying? That's generated. You don't get that. You know what I'm saying? I bet just on Football Manager, you get like 2 or 3.
One thing I'll say though, United consistently like get these attackers, like whether they buy them and then having them in the academy for like 1 or 2 years, like consistently these attackers or like winger strikers. You got Rashford. Like since Rashford, there's been number 11, then Garnacho, Amad Diallo's hooping out there, like there's as I said, they're consistently been doing that. So, but other than that, there's not really been anyone.
One thing I say is Manchester United's academy is the best or one of the best at producing footballers at the professional level. Like if you look, there's so many Carrington graduates in the Premier League and in the Championship and League One.
For sure.
Like if you look, there's a hell of a lot. So many. You know what I'm saying? Like when you look, like, oh yeah, you such and such used to believe United, but
do you think it's a thing of like where when you even consider it like cost the structure, it's the same thing with like Chelsea or even PSG, for example, because of Manchester. All these talented Manchester kids gonna go to Manchester United because it's the biggest club in Manchester. Like for PSG, just all those ballers in the streets of London, Paris, they're gonna go to PSG. Don't you think it's kind of like something like that, which has to do something with that?
Oh, that definitely adds to it because Manchester United are the team that people want to play for. But now City, their what's it called?
Their academy is crazy.
Their academy is nuts. Like I literally was at an academy game, FA Cup. This was this season. I was there. This is a few weeks back. The FA Cup. It was like the Youth Cup 5th round. You know what I'm saying? They played Fleetwood because it's not too far from my house. I went there. Top quality. You know what I'm saying, and that. Like when I'm watching them, I'm like, yo, the United player is crazy. No. This was Manchester. No, City versus Fleetwood.
City.
Yeah, Manchester City. Just
Why are you going to City? Just cause?
Nah, family tree that play in the academy, innit? No, I see.
Whoa.
Yeah. So that's why, yeah. Following my, I'm saying one of my young G's. My young G, should I say? Yeah, 100% all the time. So yeah, that's why I was there, just supporting. You already know. When I was watching it, I was like, yo, the way they move the ball is like incredible. Like the pace they play at, even at that young level, and they're only like 16, 17, 18. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, as you can see, City are getting there, to answer your question, Jess. You know what I'm saying? And that, like, City, like, in terms of their youth, because their youth teams, I don't know if they've won the youth FA Cup a lot, but I know they're, like, they're well-respected in terms of City and now producing good youth teams. And, like, they play the same way as the first team. Like, with Enrico Lewis, for instance. They're saying he would have been doing that role. Yeah. He would have been doing that role for however many years he's been in the academy. You know what I'm saying? So,
You know who's a really good youth team? Like youth system, Crystal Palace. They have a really good,
I wouldn't even say Crystal Palace. It's Southampton. Southampton is very good.
Yeah, Southampton.
But this is the thing that I'm saying. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, because I understand it's always nice being able to sing. He's one of our own, like those type of songs in the stadium, and it's a good feeling that everybody would like to have. But reality, when you even deepen, even just in professional sports in general, like especially in this team sports like football, basketball, it's very hard to make it as a young player, and you just making it. Just for example, somebody like Kobe Manu, who's not really part of the squad, but he gets his opportunities here and there. He's in that 1% out of like millions of footballers, which is crazy when you really think it.
Absolutely. Nice, man. Before we continue, over 50 of you lot locked in. We're at 39 likes. Let's get up to 50 likes, people. We're looking for 11 more likes. Like check 1212. Continue to get your questions in. Like I said, any sport, people, like football, maybe basketball, obviously with the NBA playoffs coming up, maybe boxing, Fury Usyk, you got Joshua Franklin, you got Tank Garcia, the list goes on, or maybe another sport. We'll get your questions in. And I'm not ignoring you lot. It's just that members take priority like a super chat. So if any members of the channel, if you drop your questions, I'll start them and get to them. Link for the membership is in the pinned comment. But how you can support for free is hit the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff as well. Make sure you do so. You don't have to be on the topic of what we're talking about. Ed says, from what I know, City are teaching the youth the PEP system from under 14s upwards, but even in the younger age group, they're putting elements in there so it's easier for them to transition as they grow up. How it should be, though, that's the smart thing. You want your youth players
100%.
playing with the same system as the senior. So then when you get there, it's like, I've been here before. Obviously, you're doing it at a higher level, but you've been like, this is nothing new.
You know, the funny thing is here about our academy, obviously, it's never been the creators. We had a couple here once, and they're like the Nunnies and Edwards. But this season, they're currently in a relegation battle. And ironically, they only started this season to adapt to Conte's system.
Crazy. I didn't know that. See what I'm saying?
Before that, the academy, it wasn't still great, but that team was at least up there more in the table. Now it's facing relegation.
It's big up TJ Warren as well, who says, Spurs in your end of the season top 4 with 10 games to go and Newcastle behind them with 2 games in hand. What manager can get them there? Spurs are not no, simply because of Conte, who we've seen implode however many times. You basically said, yo, this team is no good. So I don't see Spurs finishing in the top 4. What manager can get them there?
I think if you hire Nagelsmann, I think we have a chance.
Yeah, if they get it in the international break, I think Spurs can't get top 4.
Yeah. The biggest obstacle for Spurs is the manager. I think we're all in agreement with that.
Yeah,
so if we were to get
Nagelsmann, no chance. Or even if it's Ryan Mason, if he takes the interim job, then I don't see it. But if Nagelsmann were to come in, I wouldn't say 100% because you got to look at the games and hand the other teams have, because we have played all the available games. So I'm not really comfortable can say that we can take top 4. But I'm not saying it's out of our hand. I don't think it's crazy to say that it's impossible for us because, I mean, we scammed it last season too.
It's definitely not impossible because I don't really, like I said, rate the teams around. Your Newcastle, Brighton, Brentford, Liverpool. It's like, it is up for grabs. I actually think Liverpool will get it, but yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if Spurs were to get it. Simply because of the teams around them I don't rate. But I think all teams will fancy their chances in that race, though.
Exactly.
I think so. That's what I would say. Victor, what are you saying? Top 4. Who gets the 4th spot?
Personally, I think if Spurs change manager again mid-season, I think Spurs get it.
You think? Go on, carry on.
Yeah, because I still don't think Liverpool are that good. Like, I know they won a few games, but they're still very shit. Like, because I remember I heard on the Big Six when they asked Grizz who were the injuries. You know, they just have 2 injuries, which is like Thiago and and Diaz, and that's it. And the team's still not good. So you can't tell me that 2 players. Actually, maybe, but like those 2 players come in and change the team. I don't think that happens.
Yeah, they don't change the fortunes.
Yeah, because they play City on next week. They play City like straight away when they come back, and they're probably going to lose at the Etihad. They probably are going to lose, and they still have a lot of top fixtures. They have to play us at home as well, and I think they have to play Arsenal.
Yes, they have to play Arsenal.
Yeah,
they have to play Arsenal at Anfield,
and then Spurs. They have a lot of tougher fixtures. I think Spurs have played all their toughest fixtures because you play City twice. You played us twice.
Only have to play. I think we only play Man United at home.
Yeah, we got you.
Liverpool away and Newcastle away.
Have you played Liverpool at home, Jess?
Now we play Liverpool away.
Wow, what was the score?
Hey, we're playing Liverpool away.
Let me check your fixtures.
Have you played them at all this season?
Yeah, we have played them already at home.
What was the score?
You lost.
I think it was 2-1. I think. Yeah,
we fucked
it. Yeah, I think we fucked it in the first half. like I remember this was Diaz and Salah just scoring out of like it wasn't even like Liverpool playing well. We just gave them 2 goals, and then obviously they had the leverage in and they held on.
Oh yeah, I remember that game. Perisic played striker, innit?
Yeah, like, I was saying like we had issues in that game.
That's mad. Let me have a look now. I'll have a look at Spurs'
And it's the funny thing is that run that I just said, Man United, Liverpool, Newcastle is all back to back to back.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, because it's United at home 27th of April, then the 30th of April away at Anfield. That's mad. And then before that, 4 days before that, Newcastle away. So you play Newcastle away, United at home, Liverpool away in a 7-day period. Jesus, that's gonna be crazy.
I think he beat Newcastle. I'm not sure about the rest.
I think we can beat Newcastle.
You can.
If you tell me we're getting 1 point or 2, if you tell me we're getting a draw and then we lose to Man United at home, I think there's a good chance that because it's the funny thing, like we turn up in that we will probably chop some dumb points to whoever we still have to play outside that run. Because I do think we're gonna lose to Man United. But this is the thing that I do believe we can do something against Liverpool. Because the fun thing is we don't play awful at Anfield. It's just that Anfield tax is crazy like, every time, and just something happens dumb. Like I don't know what it is. Like even last season, we should have never lost the game at Anfield. I'm sorry, it's crazy.
No, I hear that. I'm having a look here because you're running towards the end. So you got after the Liverpool game, Palace at home, Villa away, Brentford at home, Leeds away. That's probably what you'd want, to be honest. Because Leeds will probably be safe, or either safe or relegated by that point. Brentford are in and around you. You know what I'm saying? Villa are not playing for anything, and Palace will probably be safe at that point as well.
Yeah.
So it is a favorable running. And to Chris, who says, "I'm sorry, Brighton are better than Liverpool this season. It's only named that people think they're finishing above Brighton." No, don't get me wrong. Here's the crazy part of what you're saying there, Chris. Brighton have been better than Liverpool this season, yet they're level on points. Brighton do have a game in hand, so let's say they win that. So for all Brighton being great and Liverpool being terrible, it's 3 points. So let's say Brighton drop off a little bit and Liverpool raise the bar a little bit. What's the difference? Because Liverpool could have not really been worse this season. We all acknowledge that. Yes, but they're still in with a shout. They're only what? I'm having a look here. They're 7 points off 4th place with 2 games in hand. They're 5 points behind Newcastle.
Who are the games in hand?
I tell you now.
Chelsea. I know one's us, but I don't know which one.
Even a lot of these teams, I don't know the games who they actually have to play still to even.
Well, they still got the tough run of City, Chelsea, Arsenal. But then after that, away to Leeds, home to Forest, away to West Ham. Then they obviously the Spurs game, Fulham, home to Brentford, away at Leicester, home to Villa, away to Southampton.
Fulham, Brentford, it's not going to be like.
Yeah, like it's not. Yeah, Newcastle also have 2 games in hand on.
I know this was like it's a lot of games in hand. Like I think we're like only one of the few teams that actually had played all the Premier League games that we could have played.
Yeah. But the thing is, Liverpool and Newcastle are on the same amount of games played, and it's 5-point difference with 12 games to go. My point is that all these teams like Newcastle, Brighton, Brentford, we've waxed lyrical about, and Liverpool are still in amongst them. I wouldn't be wrong on this. I just think they'll get 4th.
No, it's not outrageous. I said it before already. Like the 4th place specifically is every season that I can remember. I can't remember the last time there was a general gap between 4th and 5th and the rest. There's always been a couple of points between each other. So, yeah, man, it's just another top 4 scrap. To be honest, though, I said this before on record. Like, I'll be honest, I'm not even going to be that fast if we don't really get Champions League football. I know people say it will affect who we can buy. Then I'm like, yo, just do better recruitment. That's all I'm asking. I'm asking for Champions League football to sign players. Like, if players only want to come because of Champions League football, I don't want them.
Yeah, facts. Newcastle have that defense though. They can stink out a few wins, and Isaac is finding form. Is Isaac finding? Is he finding form, or did he just score against Forest?
Yeah,
I think he's just scoring. I think there was another game he scored before just Forest. I think there was another game just before Forest, but other than that, I don't think he was really in form before that.
Because was he not injured?
No, he was injured. He was like hella injured. Like, I don't think
he scored against Forest. He scored against Wolves.
Yeah, that was Wolves. Yeah.
Let me have a look.
I don't think you can say form.
I'm literally having a look because people have said that, and I'm like, I'm not actually because I've not been following Newcastle like.
Yeah, me too, to be honest.
But I'll have a look. Let me have a look. I'd rather Newcastle get it over Liverpool, but I ain't really trying to see Newcastle get top 4. I ain't gonna lie.
No one's trying to see Sean Longstaff in the Champions League. Like, come on.
Yeah, then they lost to City. They lost to us in the EFA Cup final. They lost 2-0 in the EFL Cup final. They lost to us. I mean, they lost to Liverpool at home. They drew to Bournemouth. Who scored in that? Almiron. So what he's finding form?
I think just the last 2 games.
We got let's see in it. Like, because who they got? Let me see. Who's Newcastle's next game? Let's have a look on the return. But he's heating up though. It's definitely heating up.
Yeah.
Everton Spurs, that gonna be fire on the Monday as well in the Premier League return.
Oh, it's a Monday.
Yeah, it's a Monday game.
April 1st is Monday. Oh shit.
Nah, April 3rd.
Monday. Okay, because I thought we played on April 1st.
No. You play April 3rd.
They must have moved it because before it was saying April 1st.
Yeah, it's the 3rd. Because I was doing the schedule. That's how I know this shit.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be very interesting. Let me have a look.
Oh fuck yeah!
Because Newcastle is their game back. Oh shit! It's us. I should know that. It's United. You know what I'm saying they got United at home on the Sunday, and then they play West Ham away midweek. Then they're away to Brentford. Right, they got 3 away games in a row. That's not gonna be easy.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
They play West Ham, Brentford, Villa. Ciao, Villa. You know what I'm saying? And then they get
Villa.
Oh, the fucking Villa.
Shout out everyone from Brum locked in, man. You the real ones, man.
I know people in Brum too, man. Like good people.
Yeah, man. Great people, man. Love my people from Brum, man. Shout out anyone from Birmingham who's locked in. You lot are real ones, man. I'm saying Villa criteria. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Yo, the accent
will never not be funny.
Oh, it never won't be. Now, TJ, I hear you. It's gonna be a lot of fun to watch regardless. I'm genuinely looking forward to the end of the season. I don't know if that's because United. No, it is definitely because United are better. But yes, I'm genuinely looking forward to it. Yeah, go on.
Where's this whole thing about every time everybody saying, it's not the first time I'm seeing this. I'm seeing this on multiple channels saying, oh yeah, because it's Spurs, they're gonna battle it. When was the last time we generally battled top 4? When we actually were in a race for top 4?
I don't know. When is it? When's the last time you missed out? You tell me.
That's what I'm saying. I can't remember last time. If you missed out of top 4, it's because we were actually generally far away from top 4.
So last time you was in the running, you're saying you made it.
Yeah, and this thing, and again, battling means you're supposed to be the favorites. Our manager is literally about to get sucked. We might have Ryan Mason as the manager, so you tell me we're the favorites still with Ryan Mason.
All right, that's a good question then. Who is currently the favorites for top 4?
Definitely not us because Conte is the manager.
So are you just talking about the 4th spot? Or
Yeah, I'm talking about the 4th spot. Yeah, so out of the teams chasing top 4, who is the team that are favorites for it? Newcastle.
Yeah.
Newcastle. And then it's Liverpool and then it's Brighton.
So we're saying Liverpool above Brighton and Brentford.
Yes.
Yeah, favorites, yes, but do I think who's more likely?
Yeah, I'm asking favorites. Yeah, we're just talking favorites.
See, my favorites are this order. In this order.
Everyone because of the name.
Yeah, but forget the name. We're talking in quality. I think in quality they're the favorites. I don't think it's name.
You see, this is the thing. My order for top 4 right now, based on right now, is Newcastle, Liverpool, Brighton, Tottenham.
Yeah.
At this current state right now.
First.
And I think Liverpool and Newcastle is very close. So the narrative that Spurs battling top 4, I don't hear it. How can you battle something when you're not favorites? It's like the same shit in the final against Liverpool. People say we battled the Champions League. Mate, we weren't even supposed to make the semi-finals.
You got points. You right, yo.
I hate the narrative. I hate the narrative of people saying Spurs battle shit. How? Explain to me how we battle shit when we're not favorites.
You know what you spit, yo. When you say it makes sense. It's just funny that your rants always make me laugh, but you're right. You're spot on.
Yeah, I'm tired.
How are Spurs? How are Spurs?
German.
How are Spurs? Yeah, yeah, because the German accent slaps on their curses.
It's so funny.
How are you favorites for this? And no one would say how are you balling it? And no one would say Spurs are favorite. No one has Spurs favorite right now, even though you're fourth. I would say personally,
that's
Newcastle.
why.
Yeah. It can be said without context. I never thought about it until you just said that, Jets. Never thought about it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I never get when people say the bottling thing. Like, I hear it for certain. If you tell me bottling against Milan and Sheffield, I heard that more. But bottling top 4, no chance.
Yeah, now you right. I was saying that. You 110% right. I'm looking there. Obviously, Spurs on 49 points, 28 games played. Newcastle on 47 points, 26 games played. Liverpool 26 games played on 42. Brighton on 25 games played on 42. Then Brentford 27 games played there on 42. And then you got you got Fulham on 39 points, and then you got the mighty Chelsea on 38 points. They're gonna make that magical 40-point mark, man.
Damn, you really had to go all the way to 10.
Two more draws, man.
So if I said 2 more draws, it's crazy.
Aren't you concerned that Aston Villa are creeping up?
I need Chelsea to finish over Liverpool. They're only 4 points.
That's not
bro. If Graham Potter finishes over Jurgen Klopp, charge it, man.
No, I need Chelsea in 6th and Liverpool in 7th. That's what I need. I'm saying
that would be great. Yeah. Or Chelsea in 7th, Liverpool in 8th. That would be even better.
Nah, I want Liverpool to have some form of European football. Bring them, give them. Just to see them playing on Thursdays at like 3:15 p.m. versus Dynamo Kebab and Chips. It'll just be great.
This is what I would love.
And Union St. Gillette and all them teams.
This is the dream scenario.
Well,
you have Tottenham finishing 4th because everybody says literally nobody cares about Tottenham. So Tottenham 4th. Yeah. Then you have Newcastle and Liverpool finishing in the Europa League spots, and then you have Chelsea creeping up to 7th for the Conference League.
No. Swap Chelsea and Liverpool, and we have a deal.
Nah. Liverpool, like Chelsea in the Conference League would be the hilarious thing ever because, like,
no. Liverpool would be, bro, Mohamed Salah. You're not playing the cookie.
I said Salah.
Salah.
Before we continue, you lot, let's continue to bump up the likes. Before we close out, because it's only going to be a short stream, so we're going to close out in the next 10-15 minutes or so. Get us up to 50 likes. We're currently at 46 likes. Subscribe as well. We have hit the first subscriber mark, so salute to you lot. We're looking to get to 5,810. We did that. I'm just refreshing the screen. I think we actually went over that as well, so big up to you lot. Saying continue to subscribe, continue to support as well, people. Currently, what we're at. 1 second, just barely hold that thought. Yeah, we're at 5,810. So let's get up 5 more. There's over 55 of you lot locked in. I know there's at least 5 of you lot who haven't subscribed. Hit the subscribe button. Get us to 5,815 before we close out. Yeah, go on, Jez. Go
on. The question that I was thinking was the what's literally on my there we go. About Nagelsmann.
Yeah.
Where do you actually think is going to be his next job? Because there's some people that think there's a lot of people that don't rate Nagelsmann for whatever reason, but people forget he's just turning 36 in the summer. This is crazy.
He's young, man.
Because even in context, Arteta only after this season, Arteta only finished coach 3 seasons in context, and Arteta's 40. And
that's not funny. Okay.
Yeah, and Nagelsmann been coaching for a very long time already at Hoffenheim, and if I can go and check again exactly when it was at Hoffenheim, won't bear with me. He was coaching at Hoffenheim from 2016 to 2019. Bear in mind that Nagelsmann is 35 right now. So people forget how young he actually is and how long he's been already coaching. So where do you think he's going to go? Because obviously he's linked to Real Madrid. People saying there's possibility Chelsea because there's a relationship with Rivel. People saying even PSG because guys here, and then obviously Tottenham. I don't see Liverpool or the national team because I think Liverpool. I don't think they're getting rid of Klopp. And with the national team, I think Nagelsmann is not interested in the what's it called? National team. I think that's a later thing.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. You made some interesting points. Chelsea makes sense. Spurs makes sense. You said he's got links to PSG, right?
There are links there, small links to like PSG because Galtier is maybe getting sacked.
I would say probably between Chelsea, PSG.
Mm-hmm.
I mean Chelsea, PSG, Chelsea or Spurs. Sorry, I think it's between those two when I'm looking at it.
I said Real Madrid as well. That was one of them. So
Yeah,
you don't think it's ready yet?
I don't think he'll go. Put it this way, I don't think it'd be smart of him to go into the Lions den that is Real Madrid. That is the fucking
Yeah, that's fine.
Lions.
I actually agree too as well.
Don't go Real Madrid. You literally just got sat by. Don't go apply your trade elsewhere. Go to a Spurs.
Tottenham.
I think Spurs is the smartest move, even more so than Chelsea.
I think
if you do well at Spurs, like the PSG and Madrid jobs and the Chelsea jobs are all still there. If you do well at Spurs, that's what I would say.
Because that's the thing. Because you know what it is, the description. Because the one thing I say about Chelsea is the way they want their manager to be, project manager, young. I think Nagelsmann is literally the option that actually fits the bill. Because Potter doesn't have the winning thing. Because even at Leipzig, Nagelsmann at least won a trophy there as well, and he was able to bring Hoffenheim to like their first Champions League campaign since for like forever. So I think this would be the perfect build. But my question is more like, will Potter ever even get sacked? To be honest, like it will. I think
if it goes bad, which it could for at Potter, and I think which it could happen, and I think the majority of us expected to happen, he'll get sacked. Yeah, I think he almost got sacked this season.
He should because that's the thing. He should have been, in my opinion. But in the same time, could Nagelsmann already be gone by the time? Because I do look at him as a manager that maybe takes a job literally when somebody offers him.
It could be, but then depends on the job. Like there's only a few jobs above the Spurs job he's taken. We mentioned them: Chelsea, Real Madrid, or PSG.
I
can't see him at Madrid. I just think that's a bad move. PSG makes sense and Chelsea makes sense, but then you're going from one pressure situation to another pressure situation. Chelsea ain't gonna give you time. Someone said it there in the chat. Chris said it. Spurs is ideal. Nagelsmann needs time to refine his tactics. It is time to refine his tactics and just become a better manager. So go somewhere where there is pressure to win, but it's not the be all and end all.
But before you go to that question,
you just seen Potter make the jump. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And go wrong.
Quick question though, before you go to that one. But don't you think that also the Spurs job or even the Chelsea job would be a better job than PSG, because PSG is just a whole mess. And even when you look at the team itself, if you were to the way Nagelsmann wants to play, Messi and Neymar have to leave the club, in my opinion. Yeah, and that's a big decision, to be honest. Yeah. Like, and then even the midfield, it's a lot of mess that's going on, and then you know what it is like, either Champions League or nothing for them. And you never won the Champions League, even with Bayern. So I think even the Spurs job or even the Chelsea job, I think the worst job he could show for me is the PSG job, to be honest.
Agreed. The PSG job is, because that is a complete mess. As much as craziness is going on at Chelsea, it's not as bad as PSG. So I'm like, why don't you go to somewhere? Why don't you go to somewhere where it's settled? And that's Spurs. In terms of, Harry Kane might leave, a rebuild, but you're just gonna get more time. You're under like if you finish top 4 and win the FA Cup at Spurs, they're gonna laud you as a god. You're gonna be good, 100%. Like without doubt, the first manager to bring like a trophy to Spurs in like the modern day era is gonna absolutely be loved in the white part of North London. Over the moon. Even a League Cup, over the moon. Just play good football at this point. They've legit gone from footballing terrorists to footballing terrorists to footballing terrorists. Went from Mourinho to Nuno to Conte. That's one good football. You've seen Express, shout out to X. You've seen X speak about it. I said, at this point, why am I paying money for my season ticket? Give me good football at least. We might lose, but give me something entertaining to watch. For some football, we've all heard him say that countless times.
100. I've been waiting for a gegenpress manager type for ages. From like, it's been a minute. Like, even possession based, I wouldn't mind it, but fucking hell, just don't give me. Because the funny, you know what it is with them managers compared to the managers like Nagelsmann and Enrique and stuff. Players like Dyer, Sanchez, they can't hide no more. They can't hide from those systems. Like even Maguire, for example, Maguire literally right now, because he can't play a high line or he can't pass certain pass ranges, he's out of the squad now. This would happen. This will happen to like if Nagelsmann or Enrique came in, the Sanchez, the Sessions, the Perisic, the Sanchez, they all will have to leave, and this is what I want. I don't want these managers like Jose or Conte, where they can have a purple patch and they look like they can fit the system. Because we playing like low blocks and stuff. Like, nah, man, I'm tired of that.
Thanks. Big up to Paul as well. Switching lanes. Says, sorry, Flawless, just switched over to Team Coppish for a second. How do we rebuild our midfield? Advice, don't bother. What do you think, Flawless? Hashtag Lego, man. Big up to Team Coppish first and foremost. Large up them, man. Shout out all the Duns over there, man. Call them Drifty, you know what I'm saying? And that big up the whole hierarchy and the gang. I forgot the other Dun's name, man. I forgot. I'm tired, people. But shout out to the whole gang. Call them, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Regards to this, be smart. So going to sign Jude Bellingham for 100+ million is not the idea. Okay, maybe go get someone for 60-70 million and maybe look at a free. Like someone mentioned this, I was talking with Saint actually. Someone mentioned Gavi. If Gavi's available on a free, perfect type of signing.
Paul Tierney is a United fan.
Yo, seeing so. Oh wait, I thought you were talking about Liverpool.
I thought he was Liverpool because he meant Team Coppish.
Yeah.
I think Paul Tierney, you're a United fan, or
he is a United fan. Yeah, but I think I don't know because of the way he's worded the question. I thought you were talking about Liverpool. So. Yeah.
Yeah, just
why would Coppish be talking about us?
Yeah, I think so too. Like Tony just reconfirmed that. So
yeah, let us know.
Sure. But meanwhile, obviously Chris Ryan is asking a question where saying which players in the Spurs team can perform in a high pressing system. Controversial statement. I'm about to say. I think we need to say Harry Kane. I think the guy doesn't have the legs for the system.
Yes, it's not controversial for you. You've been said, don't do that.
Huh?
That's not controversial for you. You've been saying this.
No. I say that, but I mean for people that haven't heard that point yet.
Yeah, there is some people who maybe knew.
Like, if I tell that to a Spurs fan, what are you talking about? Harry Kane, he just broke it, and I was saying like, nah, like the issue because when you even look at like certain players, what you have required, like you need to be able to press high up the pitch, very, very hard and very strong as well. Pause. You need to pause, hella pause. But you have to even not be able to just press the area, but also press the player actually as well in certain sequences as well. I mean, the child literally saying all agree like Kane even run like now he can't run no more. That's why I think he fits more United. I think just teams that just play more in possession and that just don't have to be teams where they don't have to be like doing this press and stuff, and they're just taking the ball around. I think he fits those teams way much better. Or even the counter-attacking team where like he is the deep line playmaker, where he facilitates as from the striker position. But those pressing systems, I don't think he would do it. Son, I'm not too sure either. I would have to see that. Kulusevski, the same thing, because Kulusevski is also not the type of pressing guy, which would be a big issue. I think Bissouma, somebody said in the chat, I think he can do it. I think Sarr can do it. Oliver Skip, I'm not too sure. I would have to see it. Definitely our fullbacks, Paul and Udoji, who comes in next season, can do it. Romero, I mean, he literally runs into everybody and gets a yellow stupidly. So he can do it. So there's
talk on Romero, Jess. Keep talking. Keep talking on that bozo, man.
This is
I told you about this guy.
No, I didn't say I'm done with him. I said
pause.
I did. What? Whatever, man. All I gotta say is, man, I already said like there's definitely players in the team that I look at and say they can definitely do this system, but there's a lot of players that have to leave the club as well. Like Luis have to leave the club, Kane might have to leave the club. We definitely need to get all of the left side of centre back out of the club. Højbjerg has to leave the club. Like there's fair man that I look at and say you have to leave the club for that.
You got dip, right? Yes, Lewis, what are you saying, family? You good?
Oh, Charles.
Right. Where's the Chelsea? Where's the Chelsea currently?
Where's what?
Where's the Chelsea currently? on the table.
The same place where you wear your trophies are, isn't it?
I wish there would be a 10th. I wish there would be.
That's good. TJ says Kane doesn't fit into a high pressing system. If Spurs fans want to see that, they support selling him and get a manager in that can build a culture and a winning system. The more people talk about Harry Kane, the more I don't want him at Manchester United.
Let's not do this, man. Let's not do this.
Let's not do what? Let's not do what.
I heard what Moses is saying.
I'm saying there's I'm not saying I don't want him. I'm saying there's question marks over him. Is the point I'm making? We gonna act like there's no question marks over Harry Kane. Is this what we're doing, Matthias?
I think people just overdo it, bro. With Harry Kane, the bottle jaw, people just overdo it, in my opinion. People, pressing all this shit. Yeah, this guy gets me in a good system, in an Antonio Conte system. People, if there was any other striker that was going there and was stinking it out, people have 20,000 excuses, and this guy's still the second top scorer in the Premier League, only behind Erling Haaland, a goal scorer we've never seen like this come and just dominate the Premier League ever, right? Let's not do all of this, bro. Like
the hilarious shit of you saying.
I'm tired of all of this, bro. I'm tired of all.
The irony of you saying.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean of going over the top? You're Mr. going over the top himself. So the irony of you saying
but
that,
bro, all right. Okay,
the irony of you. Sorry, I'm not even saying you're wrong.
Because
I believe I do agree with you to an extent in terms of I believe the criticism over the top. It's just funny coming from you. It's like It's like Lewis turning around and saying that somebody props their team too much. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying in that. Like legit.
Hey, shut up, man. Let me cook. All right. Anyway,
as I was saying, but go on, carry on.
As I was saying, people talk about this guy like he's some fucking scrub, like he's Mason Mount or something, bro. Let's not do this, bro.
This is not fun to have nowhere.
Now you going over this, but go on, carry on.
Bro, that's my god. The thing is bad mentality while we have wild fucking Weghorst. Yeah, we have fucking Hogwarts. We have Hogwarts as our striker. People are turning their nose down at Harry Kane, bro.
Yes, because that's no. Just because you're better than Weghorst doesn't mean you are the answer.
That's the thing.
You used to do that before.
The irony of you talking about going over the top and then in the very next breath go over the top.
How is that over the top?
What do you mean? How is that? So I'll explain to you how it's going over the top. Using Weghorst as your argument for Kane when Kane has legitimate things you can use for the argument is just very silly. But it's you going over the top. This is the primary point of what I'm talking about. Why use Weghorst as the example? I could insert striker name here and that sentence still makes sense. That doesn't mean that striker is good enough for Manchester United Football Club. However, the points you made before made a lot of sense in regards to Harry Kane and the amount of goals he scored. My issue is that he has question marks against him, which he does, as does every striker.
The thing is,
but the lack of mobility in the PMP era is a major concern for me. I'm not going to lie.
The thing is, I understand that. What, look at the Ten Hag striker, right?
Mm-hmm.
He likes kind of like a big man up front. Look at all the people he's targeted. He targeted the Stuttgart striker.
A big man for you.
I didn't even hear what he just said.
We're actually
got a big man for you, bro.
He's talking about Lukaku. He said, "I've got a big man for you, bro." That's what.
Come on, bro.
He needs to get this. Hey, Lewis, talk. After Mataza finished. Sorry. After Mataza finished, Lewis, talk about how Lukaku still has his number for Belgium.
To be fair, it gave him some powers. He bagged a hat trick. Fair play to him.
Man, there you go. Who did they play?
I think they played Sweden.
All right, that's decent. Wait, did Lindelof play?
I'm not too sure. Let me check quickly.
Yeah.
I
don't think they played Finland.
No.
Anyway,
Lindelof, I said. But yeah, go on.
As I was saying,
go on.
No, they played Sweden. Oh, Sweden, yeah.
Lindelof.
Who cares about Hazard, man? He's a scrub anyway.
No. I just like crashing on Lindelof. Yeah. Go on, carry on.
All right.
Strays at the VL Hive, man.
Yeah, have him at the bridge.
All right.
Now we got enough centre backs, bro. We got enough
guys,
bro.
Just never ending. Anyway. Moving on. Bro,
sorry.
What Ten Hag tried to do with Hogwarts, right? Try to play him in the 10 to drop deep and do this playmaking shit. Harry Kane is legit probably the best player in the world to do that role. Try to drop deep, play make, hit the ball. And he got Son over there, going over the top, pause, like trying to do all that shit. You got probably the most informed winger in the world right now, Rashford, to do that. Like, I think, honestly, it's a match made in heaven in that aspect. Like, the dropping deep, playmaking, all that shit. Like, it's a match made in heaven. People always confuse this. People think, because he used to be with Pep at Bayern, he's just a Pep disciple and this and that. Bro, his system from Pep's system is much different.
Yeah, it's different.
It's not like for like. People like always get that confused. See, like English Havertz, right? Exactly what I mean. People just doing too much.
Yeah, that's over the top. Like, but again, that's the energy you put out. So that's why people say that to you. That's you. That's
I'm not doing it in this, so you can't.
No, you literally did it like a few sentences before. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's just because I don't like Hogwarts.
Yeah, right. No, so what you gotta realize is the energy you put out is what you get back. So you can't be like, oh my god, I can't believe people are going over the top about Harry Kane when you do that every single day.
All right, yeah, but it doesn't make it less of the truth. But anyways, as I was saying, it's wrong.
It's incorrect when they do it, and it's incorrect when you do it. But go on, carry on.
Exactly. No, I'm not even disagreeing with you. The game is a game. The game is a game. See, and also people always get you need a long-term striker. I agree with that. Fellas, you tell me, when have you ever had a long-term striker that came here and stayed here for 15 years, 10 years? Never. Look at Cantona, 3-4 year, gone. Yap Stam, 3-4 years, gone. Van Nistelrooy, 3-4 years, gone. Then we got Tevez, 3-4 years, gone. Then Berbatov, 3-4 years, gone. We've never had this 10-year striker. Wayne Rooney is not a striker, people. Before you get that in, all right. So, bro, if we get Harry Kane and we get 3 to 4 good years out of him and win a Premier League and/or Champions League, possibly, that's worth it. Absolutely. I think going for a Harry Kane and an Evan Ferguson is a better option than just getting an Osimhen. Because as good as he is, and as good as I think he can be, I don't think he's at that level yet. Like, he's just completely ready. Like, I think there's more question marks about him than there is a Harry Kane, especially when you consider adapting to the Premier League, all of that. Like,
absolutely.
Like, it's a really good opportunity for us to strike now because City are probably the worst they've been since Pep has
a few years,
taken over. Since Pep's first season, they've been the worst they've ever been. Because the second season he went Centurion, they've been flawless ever since. No pun intended. So the thing is, our best opportunity Arsenal is the best team in the league right now. That says something. So if we really want to do this right, and we get the owners, and let's say, I think getting Harry Kane would be perfect, along with obviously other pieces around him.
We need over strike. We definitely need another. It has to be Kane.
That's what I'm saying. Evan Ferguson. You want to do this long-term hype? Evan Ferguson, get him. He's 18, 19 years old. You get him as your second striker or third striker. You let him develop under Kane. I think it's the perfect thing, and you get 2 for the price of 1.
Hey, Melly, let him cook, man. You knew what he meant. Don't do that. Don't be childish in the chat. Go on.
I'm just talking about short-term solutions.
Yeah.
These guys,
it's never when people say long term, they're not talking 10, 15 years, they're talking more 4 or 5 years. Because that is now, if a striker's at you or players at your club for 4 or 5 years, that is now long term. But I hear what you're saying with that. With Harry Kane, there is question marks. I agree with you. I think he's less of a risk than an Osimhen. However, this point from Chris Ryan is spot on when he says we're not playing Ten Hag football yet. He has used all different types of profiles up front in his career, and we've seen at Manchester United he's used different strikers. The ideal Ten Hag doesn't exist because someone he loves is Anthony Martial. Martial is a quality striker in terms of profile, but he's different from Kane. You know who Martial's like? Ivan Toney. So we could use that. We all know he's waxed lyrical many a times in press conferences about how important Martial is and how good he is. Obviously, that's my first choice. I'm not against Kane. I'm just saying the question marks are there. And normally when I have question marks, I'm like, and I see it, I'm like, the same question marks I had about Kane outside of the whole, can he take a team over the top, his mentality and all of that, which is a fair argument to have, was the same issues I had about João Felix. When I said, yeah, it's all well and good being great at all this stuff, but without pace and power, your other attributes have to be exceptional. I've watched a lot of João Felix. Very talented player. Is he the guy to take Chelsea to a Champions League or Premier League? In my personal opinion, no. If they sign him, I'm not worried. And I think Chelsea fans are pretty split on him. You know what I'm saying? I think Chelsea fans, I think Lewis is staying for him. But did you say as a squad player, though? Or do you want him as a first teamer?
Right now, I think he'd be a first teamer for us. If he ends up as a squad player, but I do think he improves the squad.
Yeah, he definitely improves the squad. That's my point.
There's Reddy Kai.
Yeah, but that's my point there when you're saying first teamer, but if he's a squad player, cool. Any player who's 100, 120 million, we're not talking about in that bracket. If they were to go get a bad boy number 9, Lewis is not saying, yeah, first teamer, but no, he's the first teamer, 110%. And that's the point I'm making. I'm using João Felix, but I think he has the same deficiencies on the pitch than Harry Kane. Like the things you don't get from the issues I have with Harry Kane on the pitch is the same with João Felix. The lack of pace and power, the lack of mobility, the lack of being able to press, the lack of being able to run the channels, etc. Not saying João Felix ain't a bad boy because João Felix is talented. I, in particular, watch Chelsea games to watch him. You know what I'm saying? Of course, to wind up the Chelsea dons like Ahmed and Victor and that, so they can hold that. But like, I genuinely watch their games to see how good he is because he's a talented player. And that's what it is with Harry Kane.
My counteracting point to that is, let's say we get a PNP striker, right? Mm-hmm. The only thing that concerns me is they're going to want to run in the same channels and go in the same channels as Rashford, who is our winger. So, like, yeah, it's all good having PNP, but, like, then you're just being a counter-attacking team at that point, like, almost, in a sense, because build-up is harder. It's going to be harder than, your build-up is going to get, to put it this way, your build-up is going to be much easier with a Harry Kane in there than an Osimhen up there. With Osimhen, you could take the top of the defenders.
With those two, yeah, but not with the Ivan Toney, because Brentford, and Mandem will know in the chat more than me, Brentford have wide players who run. They're a very hard.
Yeah, LeBron looking.
I see
let me ask you a question.
Yeah, go on.
Same price, same everything. Who you taking, Ivan Toney or Kane?
What's the price?
Same.
No, but what is the price though?
What price though?
We're saying 60 mil, we're saying 100 mil.
70, 80 million, whatever you want. Like, my question is, you could just have one or the other.
I'm taking Ivan Toney.
All right, man.
Because I think there's less question marks about him.
What?
And there's less pressure on him. Of course, there's
less question marks about
Yes,
Ivan
there's less
Toney?
question marks. Yes, the only question mark about Ivan Toney is can you do it at a higher level? What other question is there about him?
All right, man.
No. Don't. What's that, man? What outside of that question? That's the only question mark in regards to Ivan Toney. Bet and scandal, I give you, so that's 2. No. But what is the only outside of can this man do this at a higher level? Bear in mind, he's the 3rd highest goal scorer in the Premier League currently. I believe so, or 4th, 3rd or 4th. I need to double check. Playing for Brentford. So outside, can he do it at a higher level? And bear in mind, Kane, that's a question mark about Kane, because Kane, if he comes to Manchester United, will be doing it at a higher level in terms of pressure.
See, notice with Kane, if he goes to Man United, the question mark is, can you deliver this team a Premier League?
Yeah,
with Tottenham, can you deliver a trophy to the club after being a trophy child? But no, with Man United, it's like, can you deliver a Premier League? Let's be honest, like, Man United just already won the Carabao Cup, and they're most likely going to win the Europa League. Then it's not a thing of, can you go and just win a trophy? Winning a trophy at Man United after the season that you might just had this season, and probably how you're going to end it, it's not going to be enough if Kane wins next season a Carabao Cup, FA Cup in his career. Like, now he needs to bring an effect where he actually delivers a Premier League. And now is the question: is Kane the striker that can deliver a Premier League? And it's a big of pressure. It's a lot of pressure, to be honest.
And bear in mind that question about Ivan Toney is about 90% of the strikers and wingers we've signed. That's been a question mark of at the moment in time we signed them. Every single one. When we signed Wayne Rooney, obviously it was different because he was much younger. That was a question mark. When we signed Dimitar Berbatov, that was also a question. Go back yesteryears. When we signed Andy Cole from Newcastle, that was a question. When we signed Dwight York from Aston Villa, that was also a question mark. When we signed Cantona, that was a question mark. That has been a question. When we signed Cristiano Ronaldo from Sporting, the list goes on. Every single player we have signed, attacking player we have signed, that has been the question mark. So why is it different now because it's Ivan Toney? He's done everything in his part. The only question mark that we have on him is not his fault. The question marks we have about Kane, outside of the mobility and everything, that's not his fault. I don't blame him for that, because that's your attributes. Is the whole bottle job mentality, and I think it's harsh. The whole bottle job mentality. But with Harry Kane, we have question marks over him.
I think there's more case for England to put that on him than for Tottenham personally, because I don't think if Tottenham do whatever, like, there's maybe instances, there's maybe certain times where, okay, let's say the league title against Leicester, I can put that on him. Semi-finals and even the Champions League final, like, I know people said, yeah, but he shouldn't have started the game. People forget he was the one who was requesting to start. So it's kind of like those instances, I'd say for Tottenham, but for England, it's like, let's be honest, like, I can't remember the last time you actually had a genuine good tournament for England. For all the whole tournament.
What I say about Harry Kane is that whole scoring 20, 30 goals a season, winning golden boots, but your team winning nothing can't wash out Manchester United. You will get criticized. As much as you'll get praise for your individual accolades, you will get, because people be like, all right, what did the team win?
Yeah, I hear that, but like,
we've seen it with Cristiano Ronaldo.
RVP.
We've seen it with Cristiano, but Kane's not RVP in terms of talent.
Yeah. RVP was a better player.
RVP's better
in terms
than,
of like,
if Harry Kane was RVP's talent level, I'd be like, yo, go get him now. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, maybe, but then the thing is, on the Ivan Toney thing also, me personally, I haven't watched him play enough to know. Like, I've seen a couple Brentford games. Like I'm not watching Brentford like week in, week out to know like what his question. Like, I've seen the Arsenal game, which was excellent in, but like I've seen enough of Kane to know that he would work. I just personally, I can't give you an answer on the Ivan Toney thing. It's just, but what I can say is, I don't think there's a question in terms of the quality level of them. I think like the quality, like Kane is probably one of the best passers in the Premier League.
Absolutely.
Like his passing, finishing, left foot, right foot, like his technical ability, he's supreme as a footballer. It's just the other aspects, like his durability, I guess you could say his mentality, all of that shit. So as a footballer, he's supreme.
He's cold.
But that's the thing. But that's the beauty of the game.
One of the best ever in the Prem. Right?
I'm not against the signing him.
But that's the thing. That's the beauty of the game. Like, with any signing in any position, there's always question marks. There's always good things, but there's also always bad things.
And no one's perfect. 100%.
Can the bad things be different? Not at that new club. Like Osimhen, you can bring negative and positive. Can bring in positive, negative? With Toney, you can bring in positive, negative. Like, for example, can do it at the high level. Can he put that off-field stuff away? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's always, all these players have question marks. So it's like more of like a preference, like who you really like and who you really have seen as well. Like, Matthias hasn't seen Ivan Toney enough. Like, I think Ivan Toney's cold in personally. But this is the thing. Like, if you didn't watch him, then it makes more sense why you wouldn't be too much on leaning when you hear the other names, for example. Like, and even with Kane, like, again, Kane bigger. But Kane is turning 30, so it's like,
this guy's such a dick.
I don't know. It's just what I'm saying. Like, it's positive and negative for any signing.
The 30 thing is, I would hear that if it was like a PMP player. But Harry Kane's never relied on his physical attributes for the game. So it's not like, and people say, oh, 30, but like all these players now, they're playing so well past their 30s because of the technological advancements we have. So I'm not hearing the age thing. And like, so what? He's 30.
I think
if we sign him, right, Jez, if we sign him, he gives us a Premier League and/or champ. No one will care, bro.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you in terms of size.
Stupid, in my opinion.
Yeah. Let me not get it mistaken, people. Like, I would take Kane at the club. I just believe there's better options. But if United were to sign Harry Kane, I'm like, yo, that's a step in the right direction.
In my opinion,
I know what he brings.
Only better options you could argue, right, that are attainable per se, is is Osimhen. I think
Karim Benzema,
but attainable. That I said,
like, he's out of contract at the end of the summer. Me and Eddie was talking about this. I was saying this.
Bro,
I would go and get. I'd go get Tony
I don't
and Benz.
classify him as available though, or attainable. Personally,
I think if he's out of a contract, I think if we offer,
I think
him
he's
a
gonna
deal,
renew. That's why.
Yeah, he might renew, but it depends on who the new manager is as well.
I mean, obviously, I'm taking Benzema over any player ever.
And my point is, I'm saying is we have both Casemiro and Varane here to talk to him. Again, dream world people. I'm not saying this happens. Me and Eddie was talking about this on Man United, but it is actually plausible. Go get Tony and carry him.
Actually, one quick question: do you believe there's a possibility you could retire after the season, though? Because Ballon d'Or, you're not coming back to the national team because of the shots. You literally completed football like at least like with Varane and even with Casemiro, like they're still at the age where like it's too soon to retire, like, and you still want to get all your money.
Yeah,
I think Ben's got all the money already. Unless he wants to. I mean,
he played. He's not been injured. Like I checked this because we were looking at this earlier.
Like, he's definitely really crazy injured. It's just this season.
It's not.
He's still played. He's not been the greatest, but he still played like the vast majority of the games. And I wouldn't have him as like the out and out or even let's say him and Kane, him and Tony.
Oh my God,
is what I'm talking about.
I put one in the 10, bro.
I have a slight feeling he's going to retire, but in terms, let's say in the world where he doesn't retire after the season, and I think he would go to Man because United, at the end of the day, do pay men. They do pay players. They give money, and this is the thing. Like you come in, you play in the Premier League, you're getting paid, and you just go and do your job.
Yeah, man. Like I could see that. Like again, people, do I believe this happens? No, but then Chris, you spot on. Was Casemiro attainable before we got him? Just I never expected us to get Casemiro. So I'm looking at Benz and I'm like, why not? Free. Why not? And then you go and get another striker and another striker after that. Why not? You throw the big bag at him and say, 2-year deal. What are you saying? Varane's here, Casemiro's here. Why not? Champions League run. Why not? And who better than Kane?
Imagine Benzema and Mbappe.
Who better than Kane or Ivan Toney to learn from than Karim Benzema? What that could do for them. And over attackers at Rashford.
Hypothetically, yeah. If we got Kane and Benz, we got Kane and we got Benz on a free. I'm playing them together, One in the 10, one in oh my lord. Who would be deeper though? Let's just
whoa. What are you at? Whoa.
Relax, man. You fucking horn dog.
I said, hey yo. Before you man continue, let me just get to this. Steve says, bro, if Manchester United miss out on Kane or Osimhen, go get. Yeah, Emma, who's normally in the chat, who's Danish, actually mentioned this striker. I just can't pronounce his name.
It's Rasmus Højlund.
No, this guy.
Yeah, Rasmus is Rasmus Højlund. Funny enough,
it's Højlund, yeah? Him.
Yeah. Funny enough, I've been always talking about him for a minute because obviously,
of course, there's.
No, I've been because there's actually tweets on Twitter where I talked about before everybody saw the hat trick yesterday. I think it's been like 3 or 4 months now since I've been talking about him. I think it's way too early. I think he only just signed for Atalanta in the summer. I think he's 18, 19. I'm not sure if he's already turned 19, but he's definitely 18. Still in the development phase. I think at the moment it's like his overall play is very poor, like in my opinion. Good striker, good pace.
Yeah, I know a striker you can drop it to the 10.
Is it, man? You know what? Keep him at the bridge, man. You know what I'm saying? Keep him at the bridge.
No.
I mean, you need a striker. I mean, you need a striker, right?
You need a striker.
Oh, yeah, a lot, man.
Keep big up Alam as well. Flawless put it on wax that Manchester United are getting top 4. I'm presuming that's what you said, Marcel. If not, correct. I remember I asked you before Southampton game, are you guaranteed based on your schedule and how close the top 4 race is? What you saying now? Still the same. We'll finish top 4.
No chance United get.
I think we'll finish. I go one further and say I still think we still finish 3rd. We'll still finish top 3.
You should be. I don't see it. No
worst case scenario, we finish 4th. Worst case scenario. So yeah, and outside of that, I'm super confident of winning the Europa League. So it doesn't
really matter.
Because you go in, I want to win the Europa League over finishing in the top 4. Because you go into pot 1.
That's the thing.
You go into pot 1 when you win the Europa League.
Yo,
what are your thoughts on Goncalo Ramos? I think from last
man, that striker, in my opinion, that is the best striker United can get. In my opinion,
really,
that's the best. I think Kane, because Kane is obviously the prime proven kind of striker in it. So you could say Kane is the best. But in my opinion, if you go outside of England, for me, best striker you can get. That's my number one striker. I want to replace Kane. Oh, I would be so happy if Ramos would
What
ever
is his attributes, like overall play? I know he's a great finisher. That's what I've heard.
Okay, outside the finisher is movement in the box where he can just put himself.
What's his comp? Or give me a comp, player comp.
You want me to put a comp on here?
No, player comparison, Jess.
Player
comparison. Trying to be all technical. Say comparison, yo, but player
comparison. Yeah, I'm saying like.
I'm sorry, I've been getting too much in the NFL.
Like, what's
my fault? My fault.
This is the thing, that's like you hit me just all random, so I can't really think of the player.
Yeah, so is there no one you would say he's like, not in terms of skill, but is there a profile?
No, I know, but this is the thing. Like, if you hit me like this, when I don't usually come up with a name immediately. I'll tell you in the chat later.
Because what you're sounding like movement and like finishing, like
you know what it is here. Remember Prime Cavani in his Memphis movement?
Okay, yeah, is it that type of shit? Okay,
yeah.
So he's not like a link-up play guy or something.
But he can link up the play as well, very well. And he's not your tall, lanky. Like he's quite tall, to be honest, compared to other strikers these days. But he's also not this 6'1", 6'2", kind of 6'3" type of striker like Osimhen, to be honest. Like for me, I think he is a really good prospect.
6'1".
He's 6'1".
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah, so he looks way smaller out there than Farmland. He moves way better than I thought he was, to be honest. Because for me, like when I look at him,
before I say this, major pause, like major pause.
Okay.
What's his heading game like? What's his head game like? Whoa. Major pause.
You should have just said aerial. What's he like in the air?
Yeah, what's his aerial ability like?
This guy, man, just wanted to get all saucy. You know what I'm saying?
To be honest, I don't see him really score that many headers. They don't really even play him to his paws, to his head. It's more about the play more to feed in it.
Okay.
But fucking hell.
To Steve, who says we're gonna end like very shortly, so bump up the likes, you lot. We are at 58 likes, 2 more get us to 60. Make sure you subscribe to Carefree Lewis G as well. I'm going to add Lewis's channel to the title, but it's underneath in the description of every live stream anyway. So go subscribe to Lewis's channel. That's my home away from home. Steve says, do you Man United fans like Kolo Muani? I've legit only seen him play once, and that was the World Cup final. I've not seen him outside of that.
I can't lie. The Kolo Muani thing is, I'll be honest, like. I like Kolo Muani, but what people overdoing the World Cup thing, I'll be honest. Because you know what it is? Especially with the price tag that I heard it's just going to end up like Kai Havertz. I have a feeling it's going to be because the thing is, he's good overall, strong, good dribbler, lanky. But the issue is he's not a consistent finisher like that. He got like when he finish off the chances, it's a really good finish most of the time, but it's not consistent. Bangers. Yeah, it's bangers like that. Like he's a good dribbler for his size. Good passer off the ball. Let's say, wow, fucking hell, man. Like, it's crazy. Now we need to end this shit anyway soon, but like I said, for one.
You started it. I'm just finishing it.
All I'm saying is,
right? These men having a pause off like Cam and Mace, 100%.
It'll be like this, but what I'm saying is, I think the issue is the price tag.
I'll tell you in a sec. Let Jez finish that.
All I'm saying is the issue is the price tag, because I think if it's really 100 million, I think for any club, I think it's way too soon. It's way too soon. Like,
if you 100 million based off of what? That's what I don't get. Where's this money?
Because Mudryk, man.
This is Mudryk, because like everybody's paying 100 million. Everybody's paying 100 million for that. 100 million. You 100 million. I'm saying like it's crazy.
Fucking hell.
Hey! Don't hate the player, hate the game.
I'm saying like,
see, Victor, you see what you club did?
Yeah. Hold that, Victor. Hold that.
Yeah, Victor. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, what's all this violence for, man? Hey, get your money up, man.
Violence hype.
Get your money up, man.
Flawless, they're playing. They're gonna pay over 100 million just to have Jode.
Yeah, man. Jode. Hey, at least C1 will be happy. That's all that matters, man.
Hey, 100 million just no goals, no assists, but Jode.
But yeah, Taz, what it is Cameron and Mace. They've got a sports show. You know what I'm saying. And then they was like, there's a clip. Troops put it on his what's it called on his story, and basically like it was just going back and forth having a conversation, and it was just them saying pause enough of the time. It was jokes. They were talking NBA, I think. I need to actually check it out. I'm actually going to watch it and check it out. 110%. Large up everyone who has locked in as well. Big up. Alam says he bagged 6 weeks ago. It's still jar week. Let's go. Link for the membership is in the pinned comment. Of course, as part of the perks, you get shout outs during some certain shows. So big up to Team Chat, TJ Warren, Shane Jr., Chris Ryan, YG. Obviously, Jez is in the cut. Dennis, DC92, Moped, Paul, Marcel, who's also in the cut as well. It's your boy. Thankful for life. Star Lord, Zayo, 44, WKD. Give it to Mikey, Nonchalant, Broderick Fall.
Jesus.
Yeah, man. The disabled team. Where else we at? Wait, hold on. Did I miss him? Yeah, this guy threw me off. Where am I at? WKD, give it to Mikey, Nonchalant, Broderick Fall, the disabled team, Dan Levitt, Victor, who's here, Taza, who's here, Raymond, Alam, who's in the chat, Daniel, Khalid, J Socials, Steve, who's in the chat, Nick, Malcolm, Matro, OG Turbo Jesus, Uncle Jesters, Time to Shine, Surfer, Eddie, the lovely Sasha, Nelly, Scott Page, Neville B, and the guy who next time he's at the gym hopes he gets rushed like Takashi did Ryan. So yeah, man, big up to everyone who's locked in. Large up. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as well.
Man.
Fuck what I'm saying. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And F Ryan too. I genuinely mean that. You know what I'm saying. If someone does that to him at the gym, I will buy you a drink. So yeah, large up to everyone who's locked in. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe.
Let's go.
I'm glad. David says, big up guys, just finished SmackDown. Hey, large up, man. Love to see all the
Me too, bro.
Regulars. Love. Big up, man. Every single time. Lewis, what you got coming up? Let them know what you got coming up.
Probably some live stream tomorrow. Just depends on what news is out. International break tax. Fucking dead.
Hey, Kante back and came back to the game. Like a friendly or something.
Yeah, they had him on an under-21s game or something. Some poor fucking rookies had to try and mark Kante for 90 minutes. Long day.
Yeah, that's crazy. I see Mason Mount there with Kante's shirt on in the
stand. Supporting in that.
Yeah, even put that one on wrong. That's cool.
I speak for all Chelsea fans when I say, put the contract out. Let him sign what he wants. Bro, get him the super max now.
So wait, you as a Manchester United fan
No, I speak for all Chelsea fans.
You as a Manchester United fan is saying put the contract on the table and give him a super max. Fair enough, man. I'm with you. I agree, man.
For Chelsea,
he's brought about it.
For Chelsea,
I'm here with you, bro.
Bro, he's proper Chelsea, man. What else do you need?
I should give him a blank contract and let him put whatever number he wants on it.
That's what I'm saying, man. Todd B, get to work, mate.
Nah, man. Whoever your owners are, that'll be your Saudi owner's statement signing, bro. Minerals Mount.
That's a bad statement. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, it's not even Saudi. It's Qatar.
That's a bad statement.
Yeah, we don't discriminate. Whatever country their statement signing will be Minerals Mount.
But don't you think it would be a statement signing if he resigns with Chelsea, like the face of
that would be?
No, man. Our owner's already been here for a year, man.
What a U-turn, man. What a U-turn.
We already had our statement signings. João Felix. Sterling,
the boy who had a dream. You know what I'm saying? That's a banner, right? A boy who had a dream. Let's go.
Before we end this, like see it this way from like the academy kid that was supposed to be the superstar of the in the face of the club after making it was about to leave, but then decided, no, you know what? I'm taking.
This sounds like a movie script that would go straight to DVD, bro.
Leaving.
This wouldn't be in the cinema.
That's a Wolf of
Wall Street. Straight to DVD and you buy it in Poundland 2 for 1, bruv.
One of the best headlines to market.
Anyway,
it sounds like content to me, man.
Love to everyone who's locked in, man. Big up. Continue to support. There'll be no live streams tomorrow, people, but Sunday there'll be a Q&A as well. And then, like I said, international break. That won't be the regular. You'll still probably get a couple of Q&As, but I'm going to come up with something new for you, like in regards to the YouTube and the Twitch. So we'll definitely still provide you with content, even if it's like clubs and stuff like that on the Twitch. Like we'll pattern something. But yeah, allow me a joker. You know what I'm saying? Man said Mank Mount and all this. Now you go in Merseyside. You know what I'm saying? He is the Merseyside. You know what I'm saying? Money Merseyside Mount.
Hey, before we end the stream,
you
know what I'm saying?
Go
on. Maguire out and Bruno out, Hogwarts out. Get all these guys out, man. I've had enough. Please.
Cool.
Well, if we're getting all everything off, Potter out, Havertz out, Mount out, Ziyech out, Koulibaly out, Mendy out.
It's color Negro, man.
Kepa?
Yeah, Kepa go up.
How could I forget? How could I forget? De Gea, the lamppost. Get him the fuck out as well. That fucking lamppost. Get him out, man.
What about McTominay?
Hey, man, he's already gone.
All right, well, you know what? We'll actually end on this question. Malcolm says, question for Lewis. Do you think Mount is going to Liverpool?
Yep. I look forward to it.
Okay, there we go. Hey, big up Montana Lodge up everyone that's locked in. Like I said, check out the upcoming live stream schedule.
Relax, mate.
Check out the upcoming live stream schedule. I've already updated it for, and obviously not next week, the week after when the Premier League is back. So the Premier League games, we'll be doing a triple header, the 1st of April, people, triple header, which will start with Manchester City, Liverpool. Then you will get Arsenal Leeds at 3. So Manchester City, Liverpool, 12:30 p.m. Then 3 p.m. you'll get Arsenal versus Leeds, and then the big one. You know what I'm saying? Pause. Hey,
also before we end, can you also answer
Chelsea Aston Villa? You know what I'm saying? At 5:30 p.m. Go on.
Yeah. Paul's question was basically about how to do the United midfield. He asked again. Sorry, Paul, we didn't get to your question.
My apologies if we missed your quick. Go on.
So he's just basically asking, how do we rebuild United's midfield?
Shit, we didn't.
Yeah.
Look at this. Big up troops. Big up troops in the cut. Yeah, I'm saying. See, legends in the you know what I'm saying? We got legends on the stream and Lewis are legends in the chat. Go on.
I appreciate that, man, Falls. Anyway, answering the question.
But go on.
Answering the question. Bro, these texts, man. Shut up, bitch.
Whoa,
relax,
man. We don't know how to move in Chicago, mate. Well, this is YouTube.
Hey, shut up, Victor. You're Chelsea intent, mate. Don't talk.
Yeah, go on. Get to the
Paul,
my apologies. Yeah, go on. Get to
Paul. So Paul's basically asking about the how to reconstruct United's midfield and how to rebuild it. Paul, basically, we have one midfielder that's starting caliber. You could argue Eriksen's a backup caliber squad player. So Casemiro's the only real starter in there. So we need a backup to him in the ideal world, because that's what you're asking. We need 2 number 8s, a starting and a backup. And we need a number 10, and then Eriksen could be the swing backup between the 8 and the 10. That's basically what we need. And Paulinho, a guy you said, I agree with that also. And I think the backup 8 could be Sabitzer. You get him on cheap, 20, 30 million. That's it. Get Mick Fred out of here. Get Mick Fruno, actually, all 3 of them. The Chuckle Brothers. Get all of them out of here.
I've never heard of that, yo. That's crazy.
Get all 3, Ratman and Mick Fred out of there, man. Then we're chilling. I think just get a new number 10, backup number 10. And bro, we're cooking, man.
Yeah, backup number 10.
I hope that answers your question.
What I'd say is to answer the question in regards to, like I agree with Taz, I've already said, so upgrade on Eriksen, so then you have Eriksen and the upgrade competing for that one spot. Back up to Casemiro, so then you have Casemiro and the backup to that, and then I would sign Sabitzer because Chris asked about Sabitzer, yes, and that would be my 5. So it'd be Casemiro, back up to Casemiro, the upgrade on Eriksen, Sabitzer. I like that as a 5. And then you can raise money by moving on your McTominay and Fred. In regards to the 10, I've already said James Maddison is the number 10 I want. I've stated this already. But even if it's not Maddison, we're going to need a number 10 because Donny's going to get moved on anyway. So go and sign an improvement on, I don't know how much. We've got the Portuguese mounts, the same shit. You know what I'm saying?
But you sell one and get another one. Get an English one.
Now, how about you buy the
Yeah, that's not Graham Potter, mate. We don't do that.
No. Where'd have John?
You need a squad player. There you go. You can sign him.
We got John Bruno. We're good.
As we were saying anyway. So yeah, that's it. So that's what it'd be. It'd be 4 midfielders, including obviously Sabitzer in that as well. That's what I want. But in particular, a backup to Casemiro, an upgrade on Eriksen, and an upgrade on Bruno. That's how I would solve our midfield issues. I think that's calm, personally. That's just me. It's a bit more of an 8. He plays more of an 8. Yeah. He plays more of an 8. And I like him as a squad player. I think he's an improvement on Fred. But I would have him 5th choice in my ideal scenario. But anyway, we're gonna close out. Like I said, big up Troops in the Cup. Make sure you subscribe to Troops' channel if you haven't already. You can catch me and Lewis over there. Some of the time and that we've been over there however many times it's been. So big up Troops every single time. Big up Lewis. Make sure you subscribe to his channel as well. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe here. Make sure you do those things as well, people. But yeah, man, love. We got over 60 likes. Big up you lot. We hit the subscriber mark as well. So salute. Road to 6K. And this has been the Sarcasm City Sports Q&A live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube. Big up for tuning in.